But today we're really excited because we are going to be talking all things men's health. All things men's health. Because we have this awesome event coming up, the Ultimate Guide to Men's Health. So Dr. Nathan's going to be leading this one. I'm just going to be interjecting here and there. But the Ultimate Guide to Men's Health is on January 27th, Monday, 6:30 p.m. at Embassy Suites. And that Embassy Suites is fancy. But at 6:30 p.m., Dr. Nathan is going to be going on there and talking all things prostate health, testosterone, weight loss, energy, sex drive, pretty much all the things that he has seen and heard men ask him for help with, people that have come in to get coaching. He's putting it all together to teach every single man that comes. And we had someone that called at the office to get tickets, and he was really concerned, and he asked our front desk, our patient coordinator, hey, I'm having these prostate issues. My prostate numbers are so high. Can he help this? Is this something they're going to talk about? Listen, we are going to be showing examples of blood work of men that have changed their prostate numbers. I mean, we had someone that came in with a PSA of like 12. And he was just like, oh, I don't know what to do, but I don't want to, wait around. I don't want to get cut. I don't want to have to like worry about this. I want my body to heal. And in 6 weeks, it went from a 12 down to a 7. And that was just in 6 weeks, such a big jump like that. So can you support and heal your body so that your prostate can get well again? Yes. A lot of the problems you think you're feeling, or a lot of the problems you're feeling, you think it's because you're getting older. That's not it. You can get better. So if you want tickets to that talk, there's a few different ways you can get tickets. We only have 80 seats available. I think we have about 70 or 69 tickets that have been accounted for. We have one more week. If you want tickets, you can go to drswarren.com, DRSWARREN.com. You can go to Facebook at drswarren.com. We have a link there. Or give us a call at 423-362-5360. Again, that's 423-362-5360 to get your tickets. And bring your wives. I had people ask, can my wife come? Heck yeah. And wives, if you're listening to this, get the ticket for your husband. You know he needs it. You're like, wait a minute, this guy needs to get his hormones put together. And we're going to talk about something, too, called male irritable syndrome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. When we were reading about it, I was like, yeah, this is a lot of men. But the crazy thing is male irritable syndrome is this aggression or feeling like short-fused and just kind of like lashing out at things. But what we're finding is that male irritable syndrome leads to depression.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Big time. Yeah. And I mean, you made a perfect point. Like, this is all because I had a lady in our office ask the other day. She's like, yeah, my husband's saying, that he wants me to come with him, but I don't want to stop like some of the questions that need to be answered from being answered there. And I was like, listen, first of all, I'm going to be the one talking. So I'm going to be talking about the things that maybe you don't want to hear about anyway. So, but again, it's because they're important, right? They're important. So, it's absolutely a tragedy when I hear, I have men that come in, right, and they talk to me about the health issues that they're dealing with. But what it ends up doing is these health issues end up impacting their relationships, right, with their spouse. It ends up impacting their relationship with their family, with their job, with really their way of life, right, and what they kind of come to know. It impacts their social life, right? It impacts their drive to go and, actually work out and do things like, build muscle and burn fat. It affects their ability to work on other areas of their health, all because they've got this vicious cycle kind of rolling. And unfortunately, we've got two different sides of it. We got a medical system that basically tells women that you've got everything wrong with you. Here's medication for everything. And then we have the male side of it is basically like, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah. And I'm never going to do anything, about my health because I'm not dead right now. So I'm just going to keep rolling. And so we've got this really crazy divide. And so what we know is whether you're male or female, health is about prevention. Right? Like, and we say it all the time, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of treatment. But I don't think you fully understand it until you're maybe in the midst of somebody who is already dealing with a crisis in their health, right? And then you start to realize, oh man, what if 10 years ago, this person would have just started taking some of the small steps to change their diet? What if, 5 years ago, before they had this back surgery, what if they had started actually taking care of their spine, and didn't just take an orthopedic surgeon's word for it, because what's their specialty? Oh yeah, it's the cut, right? Like, what if, and so we see these people come into our office in crisis mode, and you just start to think, man, what if, right? We could have been prevented on the front end rather than treatment on the back end. But what's really cool is that there's even grace in health. Right. Mm-hmm. And this is a discussion. I feel like especially this past week, and we've talked about it, some of the patients that you saw, some of the patients that I saw, it's people that are dealing with some really serious health issues. But there's one thing that has already started to be restored. You can see it. And that's hope. Right.
Yeah.
And getting them to understand that even though you spent 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years beating up your body, there is still grace and health, right? Mm-hmm. And thank God that he put that there so that we know the body is designed to heal. If you're breathing, the body is capable of healing, right? There's only one factor that stands in the way, and that's time, and neither one of us have control over that, right? So we're going to do what we can in this moment to start pushing your body towards a healing pathway. Right? And when you do that, you get to see transformation. And that's really what I want from this event. I want these men to come in there, regardless of whether you're at, maybe you are somebody that's like already building a lot of muscle and you feel fantastic. You're still going to learn amazing information about how to prevent and how to optimize what you got going on. Maybe you're a person that is literally, you can barely walk and you haven't worked out in 5 years and you don't eat anything that's, even real food. Hey, listen, you are going to learn some steps that it takes to start moving your health in the right direction. And what I want from the event is I want transformation. Why? Because here's what I believe. I believe that, when we're looking at men in our society, man, I really do. I believe this. I would like to build up strong men who are there for their families, who are there for their friends, who are leaders in their community, who literally feel amazing on a daily basis. They have the full capability of serving at their fullest capacity, and that they just feel full in their life. Right? That's what I want from this event. So again, make sure you either give Mary Beth a call at the office and get your ticket, 423-362-5360, or you can go on our Facebook, right? So if you're listening live on our Facebook, you can just do it.
Posted the new link again.
Perfect.
So it's easy for you guys to find.
Easy peasy.
And I want to add this because you said there's stuff that men might want to ask and they want to know. Mm-hmm. One really cool thing we do at our talks and our summits is you get to text in your questions.
That's right.
So there isn't any hey, I'm struggling with this, and you don't have to feel like out of place. So listen, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys this. Let's be honest, Dr. Nathan, the team and I were the ones that said you're doing this talk because
true.
I'm tired of hearing all this information. So much, and I'm we got to get that out there because there's so many men that are struggling. So when you come, you get to text in your question throughout the talk, and at the end of the talk, we'll answer your questions if it hasn't been answered during the talk. So from 6:30, we say block off from 6:30 to 8:30. I reposted the link right now on our Facebook page, so you guys can get on there easy peasy, or give us a call at 423-362-5360. Go to doctorswarren.com and get your tickets. I think we might have 10 more tickets, 12 more tickets around there. But you guys get signed up. This would be an awesome event.
And it's easy to get to. It's going to be really nice. It's going to be a lot of fun. I would love to be able to shake your hand, meet you, and just dive into some information that I know is going to be life transforming. Just so you guys know too, this doesn't come from a place of perfection, right? I don't get this information because I'm this perfect specimen of health. Actually, far from it, right? So there's things that I battle in my own health, that I work through in my own health, that I have, over the course of these last years. And so the information I learned on my journey is the information that I share, right? So I don't want you to feel like when you're coming in there that, you're coming to listen to somebody who's got it all together, because I don't either, right? But I do know I'm always striving to point the needle of my health in the right direction, right? And that's what we want to do. And then we want to be there to share information because we were also built for community. Some of you guys are amazing at fixing cars, right? I'm not, right? But some of you are, and thank God that you are. Some of you guys are amazing at, maybe you're a pastor, maybe you're leading people there in a church, maybe, you're good at what you do. I'm good at leading people in health.
I mean, and the thing is this, our goal is to always be a part of each person that comes to see us or each person that listens to our radio show, that we can help you achieve your life goals. Like in the end, like this past week, I had so many amazing just first consults that really reminded me of why we do what we do. There's people there that are coming in that are in pain. There's people that are coming into the office that are just feeling exhausted and fatigued. They feel like their mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. And what they want is they want to be able to do what they're doing now for the next 10 to 15 years. And that's huge. I mean, we're living at a time right now in our current medical system that if you're living like everyone else, you're going to end up like everyone else. And what are those statistics? The number one killer in the U.S. is heart disease, which I saw someone on Facebook was talking about, like animal meat, causes cholesterol and heart disease. I mean, if it was just animal fats, then we as a human species would have been struggling with heart disease for centuries, okay? We have been eating animal fat for centuries. That's not the problem. The problem is that we have a sick body. Our body responds to all these symptoms because the symptoms are telling you that something is wrong. Guys, that high cholesterol is a symptom. It's not the disease. It's not the cause. High cholesterol happens when you have an inflamed body that is dysfunctional. You have high blood pressure, not because you have blood pressure deficiency. You have high blood pressure because there's imbalance, dysfunction, disease within your body, okay? You have thyroid issues, not because up in one day your thyroid said, hey, I'm just going to stop working.
I forgot how to work.
Yeah, I forgot how to work. You have pain. You don't have pain just so that you can ignore it and get through it. You have pain because your body's telling you to do something about it. So the reason why we're so good at what we do is because we step back and say, what is the cause? What is the issue? Why do we have this problem? And then we figure out how to get the body balanced so that your body heals. As much as I love, guys, you can go to doctorswarren.com and you can see the testimonials on there. It's amazing, and we're adding more and more. About time we did that. But when people get well in our office, I mean, I get excited, but I'm thankful to God that I get to walk alongside people, because the way you get well is by your body healing itself.
Like a good example of that, really quick, like Hunter, right?
Yeah.
He came in, he'd
story,
basically been diagnosed with an uncurable disease that basically made him not be able to adapt to heat, so he could never go out in the sun, never go out in the heat. Anytime he sweated, it was like burning, and guess what? He was able to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Why?
well,
Because we got down to the root cause.
Let's talk about this, though. I spoke to him like a year before, and I'm like, we can help you. And he was like, ah. And then when he finally came in, it was amazing. So check out his story at doctorswarren.com under testimonials and stories. But this is the Wellness Radio. Guys, get your tickets at doctorswarren.com or 423-362-5360. When we come back from the break, Dr. Nathan's going to be talking about and starting to touch on the things that you can start doing today to transform your health in regards to your men and the ones that you love.
Yep.
Guys, we'll see you right after the break.
Good morning.
Help kids.
All right, Angela's in Snowshoe. What? That's not even fair.
You should
That's
tell about
ridiculous.
Angela's story.
Anika, can you help kids? We love helping kids. Actually, that is one of my biggest passions, is working with kids. And again, actually, Angela, who just commented before, you can watch her testimonial about her daughter on our website, doctorswarren.com. But yes, I love helping kids. We actually set up a whole wellness academy specifically for moms and kids. We adjust around 100 kids a week in our office. So I love working with kids. I tell every single parent, I'd much rather work with your kids than you, right? And at first people are a little taken back by that, but I mean that because, you can prevent so much on the front end with children, right? So much that you guys have gone through, so much that we've gone through just by going ahead and working on their health. And they respond faster and they heal quicker, right? So I love working with kids. And if you have any specific questions about your kids, that are going on, just message, let us know right now. And I would love to be able to help you there. Anyway, so one of the things that we're talking about today, good morning, Veronica. One thing we're talking about today is how to optimize hormones and get them to, again, build muscle and burn fat, really without, almost effortlessly. One of the things I talk about with each patient that comes in is when we're looking at, weight loss in our society, most people think that weight loss is eating less, right, and exercising more. And that's not really the case. You think you could turn down the volume? Thank you. So that's not really the case. It's not about eating more or eating less and working out more. It's about getting your hormones to a point where they are working for you. So that means when you go off for the holidays and maybe you don't eat the best that you can, you're still able to maintain your weight or lose some weight. Or when you're, sitting at home, your body is still an efficient fat burner. That is really, really important. All right. And so let's see, you said, I have a little girl with thyroid issues, weight and skin issues. We need help. Listen, I don't know where you live. I don't know if you live, here in Chattanooga. If you do, like right now, you should definitely, give our office manager a call at the office. Let's get you set up. Let's come in, let's look at you. If you don't live, in Chattanooga, we can also set up a virtual appointment with you to really get down to the root cause of your daughter's health issues. Because I'll tell you right now, man, especially Dr. Rebecca, this is like her wheelhouse. I wish that, back in the day that her mom would have known, something about that before she had her thyroid cut out at 19, right?
So the crazy thing is, so this is for anyone that's watching this. So I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, dysfunctional thyroid at 19. But studies find that 80% of cancer's life is undetected, and that it can be within your body for 9 to 10 years without showing a symptom. Think about how crazy this is. If I was diagnosed, and who knows how long I had it before then, if I was diagnosed with that cancer when I was 19, that means that was starting to grow and develop and cause dysfunction within my body at the age of 8 or 9 years old.
Wow.
So that's why I always think about that, and it didn't hit me until I had kids, that we have these young children that have symptoms that we have to address, because down the road, statistics tell us that they can only get worse. But Nico, I can help you.
All right, guys, welcome back to Wellness Radio. I am your health expert, Dr. Nathan Warren. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Dr. Rebecca Warren. We've been talking all about, men's health, mainly because I've got an awesome event coming up, right? And it's going to be a fantastic event. It's going to be at Embassy Suites on the 27th, right? January 27th, 6:30 p.m. And it is the ultimate guide to men's health. So if you haven't got a ticket yet, man, I'm a little mad at you. No, I'm just kidding. Get your tickets. We want you there. Why? Because I'm going to be going over prostate prevention, how to prevent prostate issues, how to reverse prostate issues naturally, how to increase your testosterone, your growth hormone, how to get your hormones actually working for you, how to increase your energy, your libido, and then also the big one that I know all of you guys are worried about, heart disease. I'm going to touch on that one as well, because it also relates to some of those other subjects that I talked about, just a second ago. So how do you get registered? DoctorsWarren.com. You can go on there and get registered. You can go on our Facebook. Dr. Rebecca just posted a new link there on our Facebook, Doctors Warren on our Facebook, so you can register there as well. Or you can give, Mary Beth a call at the office, and that number is 423-362-5360, 423-362-5360.
And someone was asking about on our Facebook Live, and you guys can always go to our Facebook page and our website to watch our past shows. So we are live right now, and someone was asking about needing help for her daughter. And so we do have 3 appointment times. Today we just wanted to talk about men's hormonal health, but I know there's sometimes people that listen to this and they're like, listen, I just want to get help. I want to get started. We do have 3 set-apart appointments for the discounted cost. If you guys do want that appointment, it includes a neurological exam, a full physical history, and any necessary testing or imaging. It's all just $60 for that appointment, okay? We do have it, sometimes it's a little less, but today we're doing $60 for those 3 appointments. If you'd like to set up that time, give Mary Beth a call. That number is 423-362-5360. If you're like, my husband needs to just come in and see you guys and needs that help, or if this is for you, you want to get out of pain, get down to the cause, give her a call and get one of those 3 appointment tests.
Yeah. And I think just for a second, like, let's touch, because, when you're looking at men's health or women's health or anybody's health in general, the thyroid plays a major role into it, right? And so, one of the titles I put on our show today was how to optimize your hormones to get them to work for you. And so let's touch on the thyroid for just a second. The thyroid gland is literally involved with energy for every cell in the body. That means if the thyroid is off, it is affecting every single square millimeter of your health and of your body. And so that is why, again, there's a lot of women, right, who are diagnosed with thyroid issues, but this is actually an issue that I think is kind of shoved under the rug with men. Mm-hmm. Most doctors, they don't even test men's thyroid unless you specifically ask for it, like that it's just specific to women for some reason. Like, it's almost unbelievable.
Everyone has a thyroid.
Everyone has a
thyroid.
thyroid.
And the environment is getting so bad that anyone, you're right, it used to be a women's issue, but more and more men are coming into our office, and when you have the thyroid off, it just throws everything off kilter.
Oh, yeah. Like brain, right? And the way you feel. So, a lot of men that are struggling with things like depression, things like anxiety, we know that can actually come from dysfunction of the thyroid. Weight loss resistance. That's a huge one, because if you are hypothyroid, again, you are not going to have a metabolism that's up and running the way it should. You are not going to lose weight efficiently. So we know that if the thyroid is off, your body will not optimally function. The other thing about that is, even if the thyroid is slightly off, we know it then has a downstream effect on other organs, like your adrenals. So again, your stress response starts to go through the roof. And next thing that you know, every little stressor is absolutely driving you up a wall, right? AKA, you remember when Rosie was born? Like, for the first 6 months, I thought I was physically going to die, right? Because this little girl would not sleep. She would sleep, but she would want to be held the whole time.
No, she did not sleep.
No,
maybe. You're not exaggerating. Legit, guys.
I thought I was going to die.
Rosie did not sleep. No, she did not sleep for 7 months. I'm talking about, I could nurse her, I could put her down, I could ignore her. Whatever book out there that says this is how you can help kids sleep, we did it, and she wouldn't sleep. But what ended up happening is that stressor kind of brought some underlying issues to the surface. So again, that male irritable syndrome where, you're losing that fuse. When any kind of stressors that put you over the edge, it's like, whoa, there's something underlying there. Good news is at 8 months, she just started sleeping, and she's been sleeping since then. But it was a very eye-opening experience for us. Yeah,
and I like to think of it like that. Everybody has a stress bucket. So, when we're looking at whether it's a little child, whether it's, an adult male or an adult female, we all have our own stress bucket. And so you can throw many different things into that stress bucket, and your body is able to adapt, and it's able to heal, and it's able to function based on that stress bucket there. But what ends up happening is, as that stress bucket gets so full, and you can throw whatever you want. You can throw, toxicity. You can throw heavy metals. You can throw mold. You can throw things like, environmental toxins in there. You can throw bad food, rancid fat, sugar. You can do, things like maybe you were a baby that was born via C-section, so you didn't get your microbiome at the beginning of life. Maybe it was you dealt with an emotional trauma at such an early age or even later stage. All of these things are stresses. Maybe you have a lot of stress at work. Maybe you have a lot of stress with your family. Maybe you've went through a divorce. All of these things literally fill up the stress bucket. As it fills up, once it starts to overflow, that's where all the symptoms show up. And then, guess what? It only takes a little drop in the bucket to create a major problem. So then you wonder, why is it that I go in and my boss used to have a conversation with me and I used to be fine, and now I just explode, or I cry, or I get so emotionally upset? Or why is it that, my daughter won't sleep, and literally, just her crying really sets off, these emotions inside of you? Why is this happening? It's because your stress bucket is overflowing and it's full, right? And so kind of going back and tying it all together, it's actually there's a part of the brain that controls all of that, and it's the hypothalamus, right? Your hypothalamus controls your stress response. And so it trickles down. Your hypothalamus communicates with your pituitary, which then communicates with things like your adrenals, right, for your stress response. But it also communicates with your thyroid gland, right? And so, And so if somebody is having a thyroid issue, you go into your doctor, most of the time they give you a medication, but they don't really say, hey, what is the cause, right? What is actually causing this effect? And so we look up and first thing we do is we look at the hypothalamus of the brain, no matter who walks into our office, right? Whether you walk in with cancer, heart disease, diabetes, thyroid issues, weight loss resistance, whatever it is, that's the first place I look is in the brain. I have to look at the brain because your brain is literally governing every single function and health process that is happening right now inside of you, right? So if we don't look at that, we're missing actually the foundation of what's going on.
And it's crazy because anyone would understand that, the brain, the spinal cord, the nerves, these are all important things. But you guys are walking around with a spine that's deteriorating.
Oh, yeah.
The spine, those backbones.
But I don't have any pain.
Yeah, but exactly. You don't do anything until you have pain. At that point, it's been there for a really long time. But if your teeth were falling out and they were black, you would do something about it. But the system, these bones, these structures, whose purpose is to protect the spinal cord and the nerves, you're just like, whatever about it. And so, I think, I've seen some amazing results just with working with the nervous system, the brain, the nerves, but you're exactly right with the thyroid.
Yep.
And another thing, the problem is that we never just look at why is this happening. A lot of the symptoms that people feel, that's it. That's the diagnosis. That's the problem. That's the disease. When that's completely wrong. The symptoms that you're feeling is because of an underlying issue. And so I wanted to add this because this is always really shocking to people that, one thing that a lot of men are really concerned about is cholesterol. Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So they'll get on statins without second thought about, number one, you can still have a heart attack on, statin medications, and that you're producing high cholesterol not because of a statin deficiency. But the thing that they don't kind of explain long term is that decreasing cholesterol and decreasing fat is depleting your brain of something that is just absolutely needed, a requirement. Fat, in a day and age where Alzheimer's and dementia is scary and it's running rampant. Right now, they released a study on stats, and they're like, hey, guys, cancer deaths are going down, but all of this other stuff is going up. And Alzheimer's and dementia is that one thing that they're like, it is going to pretty much take over number one. But you're getting on these statin medications and not wondering why cholesterol goes up. Why does cholesterol go up? It is a response. It is your body saying something is wrong. It is saying, is there a lot of inflammation, and are your vessels, like where your blood flows through, is there inflammation there? Your body's going to produce cholesterol to protect it. Guess what? This is the big thing. Your sex hormones, your steroid hormones, like testosterone, needs cholesterol to be made. Not just cholesterol, but specifically LDL. That's a big deal when I tell that to people, because you're running around shutting down LDL and cholesterol while you're literally a shell of yourself because you don't have adequate testosterone. And you don't need to be running around injecting and pelleting yourself just to get those testosterone up when your body's telling you, plain and simple, hey, I'm producing a lot of cholesterol. You need this LDL to get those testosterone levels up. Why is it doing that? Because there's a problem that's affecting your testosterone production. So we go in there, we get statins, and then you have to end up needing some testosterone. Then you need some blood pressure. Next thing you know, you're coming into our office, sitting across from us, telling us how much you don't like medications, and yet you're taking 4 or 5 of them. That's why you're doing this event, the Ultimate Guide to Men's Health. Guys, if you hear this and you're like, yes, this is what I need to hear, this is what I want to know, I want to transform my health, I want to do this for myself, bring your buddies, bring your wife, bring your coworkers. Ultimate Guide to Men's Health. It's going to be on January 27th, Monday, 6:30 p.m. It's just Dr. Nathan Warren.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And it's a free event, but we only have 80 tickets because that's only the availability we have in the space at the Embassy Suite. So 6:30 Monday, we say block off 6:30 to 8:30. You can get tickets a few different ways. Go to Facebook, Drs. Warren, DRSWARREN. Go to drswarren.com or give us a call to get your tickets, 423-362-5360.
Yep. And if you want an appointment, you give it the same number, right? If you're a man, woman, child, whatever, if you're a child, don't call, but have your parents call if you want to get an appointment. Again, and come in and see us and get down to the root cause. I thought about that for just a second. I'm like,
listening
wait.
to Talk that makes me nervous.
That's a smart kid, right?
102.3.
Yeah, right. But again, you guys can give us a call, give Mary Beth a call, and come set up an appointment. Come see us face to face, right? Or if you live somewhere else, again, you can see us face to face via Zoom. We can actually get on there and talk with you and get you moving in the right direction, moving your health in the right direction. So 423-362-5360, 423-362-5360. See you right after the break. All right, guys, good to see you on, Katie. So hopefully that made sense, Anika, that, again, when we're looking at, your little girl that has like some thyroid issues, again, we can't just look at just the thyroid. We have to go around and say, okay, why is the thyroid creating dysfunction? And so again, it's different for everybody. So we have patients that we've seen that, were literally having thyroid issues because of certain types of inflammatory foods that they were getting into their diet. And we're able to actually pinpoint that. We're able to actually, cut some of those out for a while, work on actually healing the gut, and then boom, we see some amazing results with that. We actually see conversion from T4 to T3. When we worked with other people with thyroid issues, sometimes it's an issue like we talked about just a second ago on the radio show, where it's an issue with the brain, it's an issue with the hypothalamus. So we have to literally make sure and say, okay, what is affecting the hypothalamus of the brain? What is the major stressor that is affecting it? And a lot of times, it's dealing with things like toxicity. We know the thyroid gland is very, very sensitive to toxins. We also know the hypothalamus is sensitive to toxins as well. So specifically things like exposure to, mercury, exposure to lead. I did a Facebook Live the other day, all about kids and toxicity, showing that there's two others that have now entered the top 4 realm that is actually damaging our children's brain. And so what we looked at is mercury, lead have always been 2 major ones, but then according to a study out of NYU that was just recently released, they actually showed that pesticides, as well as looking at flame retardants, were 2 of the biggest ones. Now, flame retardants actually taking away more IQ points, again, per child and literally per year than any other toxin on the planet, according to the research that was done there. Actually, I think it was from 2001 to 2016, it was like 162 million IQ points lost in our kids. Guys, this is a serious issue. And I talked about it the other day, that each IQ point that was lost was basically equivalent to if a child in its lifetime were to make about $1 million, right? Just in its lifetime, on average, about $1 million. That 1 IQ point loss is about 20 grand loss, right? $20,000 loss. And again, not only does that affect the child, but then we're talking about actually having an effect on our economy, which then overall ends up having a global effect as well. So we really, really want to make sure that we're looking at, again, the root cause so we can get down to it. So toxicity can be an issue. Sometimes it's nutrient deficiency, mineral deficiency. And again, once we kind of hone in on what is the actual cause, we start to get some really great results. So again, make sure that you get some help with that. We'd love to be able to help you with that. Now, as we get back to optimizing hormones, building muscle, burning fat, guys, this is important that we realize that it's not just about eating less, working out more, it's about getting your hormones to work for you. What does that mean? There are certain things that we know can optimize hormones. Based on, number 1, the way that we sleep actually has a major effect on optimizing our hormones. The food that we consume has a major impact on optimizing hormones. And then number 3, really too, is making sure that we're reducing certain types of toxicity. One major area that I see a lot that is actually very easy to transform in your life is dealing with what's called xenoestrogens, or molecules that mimic estrogen, in our bodies. And these are going to be things like different plastics, different things that are coming, phthalates and parabens that are coming from our beauty products, things that are coming from stuff that we're putting on our body, perfumes, colognes, lotions, all of these things. We have to get those out of there because they are creating these xenoestrogens and driving up a hormonal issue. All right, guys, welcome back to Wellness Radio. I'm your health expert, Dr. Nathan Warren. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Dr. Rebecca Warren, and we have been talking a little bit about everything, but really, promoting our men's event. Why? Because it's going to be awesome, and it's going to help a lot of men. It's going to help transform the health of our city, no doubt. I'm super excited about it. So, how do you get tickets? You can register on drswarren.com. You can go on our Facebook, Drs. Warren, and you can actually, register there. You can also call Mary Beth at 423-362-5360.
It's Anna.
Oh, Anna. You can call Anna.
Don't be like, hey, Mary Beth. You'd be like, this isn't Mary Beth.
Either way, right? They're excited to take your call, right? 423-362-5360. You can get registered there. Again, we only have about 80 seats. That's how much our space actually holds. Before this, radio show, I think we had around like 68, 69, 70 something tickets. So again, they're going. We've already had a few more tickets throughout the show go. So again, if you want that, you better get it because it is going to go fast.
Also, check us out on Facebook. Because in between, we go live for this radio show. So if you're never in the car by the radio, just turn it on in the background. Because on our Facebook Live, during the commercials, myself or Dr. Nathan usually goes through some extra deeper information that we never really have time to do on the air. Yeah. And that last break that you just talked about was really, really good. Some solid information. Yeah. So you guys go on there on Facebook. We give you extra content in between the commercial breaks. If you're like, wait, some shows we only share the cause, and then in the breaks we can share some solutions because we have a little bit more time. But I wanted to say that because I was just hearing what you were saying during the break, and I was like, that is really good information. But it's also information you're going to be going over at the event. For
sure. Yeah, absolutely. We want to go over real solutions. And again, I think it's in that environment, I get a chance to just kind of break it all down for you. I get to break down some of the science. I get to break down some of the research. But more importantly, I get to break down some of the solutions and things to actually do, which is going to be great.
And let's be honest. I mean, the men in our office were like, okay, like we have this women's wellness academy for women and children. We had this like women's health. We had all these events for women, and the men were like, what about us? And so I'm really excited you're doing this. I'm not even going to be doing it. I might intro you. Yeah. And then I'll stay out of the way. Does that sound good?
That's fine.
Listen, there's no way I could do this event with you. Like, you have so much great, applicable information. I know you wouldn't. You'd be like, okay, that's great. Now let me talk about prostate. Let me talk about testosterone. And this is how you. I mean, I'm really excited to even see people come in and leave with information that, hey, number one, I think our goal is when we do these free summits, like these free talks, is that number one, you realize that something can be done about where you're at, about how you're feeling, about what you're struggling with, that something can be done. And the cool thing about these talks is that we give applicable information, whether you're just beginning or you're advanced. So if you're just beginning, you leave there knowing, hey, this is the first steps I got to take. And if you're advanced, he's going to share some really great biohacks as well. So everyone, no matter where you're at with your health, you'll get that help. So the ultimate guide to men's health. That was your title. Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to call it the man event. That's what I wanted
to call it. The man event. But could you imagine
or
if you
just
saw...
man. Just man. I almost saw it just man.
How weird would that be if you were on Facebook and there's this thing of just the man?
I think if you saw it, if it was just a white background, black letters, it said M-A-N. I feel like you'd click on it. I would click on it. No,
I vetoed that, and then that's where we got the ultimate guide. He just, for the longest time, him and Mary Beth were like, the man of it. I was like, guys, this isn't going to work. Anyways, just a side note. The ultimate guide to men's health, January 27th, 6:30 to 8:30. It's a free event. There'll be 80 tickets available. We were about 60-something before the radio show started. So you can register on our Facebook, Drs. Warren, drswarren.com, or give us a call to get your tickets, 423-362-5360. Now, can you touch on a little bit like this whole prostate epidemic? Because I feel like everyone's having prostate issues and problems like urinating or having to pee a lot, and it's just being written off as like, you're just old.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's what's the most frustrating thing about it is we basically accepted it in our society. Our medical system has told men that as you get older, your prostate starts to get, it starts to get weaker, starts to get bigger, and again, you're just going to have issues urinating. That's a load of crap. Right? I mean, like, I'm sorry, but if you're a medical doctor out there and that's what you're telling your patients, either number one, you just don't care and you basically said, I'm just going to collect my paycheck and just, call it quits. Or number two, you don't care about your patient, because that's insane.
Or maybe they also have prostate
Maybe they
issues.
also have prostate. Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like, I guess this is normal.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy because that's what we've been told. We've been told this lie that says that nope, your prostate's just going to break down over time, and there's nothing that you can do about it, blah, blah, blah. You're just going to take some medication to try to, get it to shrink just a little bit so that you can pee. I mean, that's insane. So what are some of the biggest things that I see creating prostate issues today? Number one, again, is toxicity. I have to go back to it because it's such a big deal, because so many men are dealing with these things that are coming from our environment that are creating this epidemic of estrogen-like molecules in their body. These estrogen-like molecules are really driving an issue with their hormones, imbalancing their hormones that downstream lead to issues with the prostate, lead to issues with their testosterone levels. And so we start to see these problems happen. And really, once you start, not only cleaning up like their environment, both internal and external, really helping their body to properly like detoxify some of these toxins, then you start to see the prostate actually shrink. And then there's some simple things to do, right, for the prostate too. Yeah, minerals, things like pumpkin seeds, like, just even that alone.
The things that I eat can affect my prostate health.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Your body's inflamed. I mean, with those prostate numbers going up, guys, if your prostate number's going up, it's not meant for you to just sit there and wait for it to get worse, because that's kind of the approach, is this wait and see approach and see how bad it is, and if it gets bad enough, then we do something about it.
Yeah.
It's telling you that you need to respond, and I mean, you're going to go deeper into that. And the show's almost done, but we're going to go on break here. But before we go on break, last time, do you remember, like last year, you got so like shocked that I talked about balls on on live radio? I want to go ahead and say this before we go on the break. Your sex drive can change, but I want to.
I was just not expecting it.
Okay. No, but that's a really big deal. No, but this is I wanted testicles. Yes,
there you go.
But I want to go ahead and say this before we go on break, because this is a really, really, really serious issue.
Yep.
If you are taking something like Viagra, I want you to understand that problem is a big red flag that you will be having a heart attack.
Yeah.
Blood flow and performance over and over again has been shown in studies to show that it's connected to how well your heart is functioning. That's scary. That's really scary, because the number one killer in the U.S. right now is heart disease and heart attacks. And to think that something that you can see as completely separate is your body telling you this big red flag. Listen, if this is dysfunctional here, your heart is a ticking,
it's a warning sign,
time bomb.
Yeah.
So that ability, to perform, it's the symptom. That's not the disease. It's a symptom of an underlying problem that's also connected with your heart. That's a big deal. Guys, we got to go on break. If you want tickets, 423-362-5360, January 27th, Monday, 6:30 p.m. at Embassy Suites. Dr. Nathan's going to be talking. But get your tickets. You can go to doctorswarren.com or go to our Facebook at Doctors Warren, and we'll see you right after the break. I didn't mean to say like that a bunch of times. I just seeing you react.
Yeah.
I like seeing you react.
I wasn't expecting that. Everybody's like, "What? What are you?" We're just maybe happy and joking today. Right?
Talk radio. You can just say it, right?
Say what, yeah, you say what you want, all right? That's always
I've heard worse
Yeah, that's
on
right.
the other shows, so I'm okay.
That's true. Very, very true. All right, guys. So listen, I really do. I want to kind of touch on this for just a second because I know a lot of people on our Facebook Live right now. You know, you're listening as a woman, so you want to know some things about optimizing hormones here. And we were talking a little bit about men and testosterone. Testosterone is also extremely important for women as well. Testosterone, think of it more so than thinking of it as a male hormone. Think of it as an anti-aging and energetic hormone. So if you actually are not producing, a good amount of testosterone, or maybe you even back up a little bit and you're not actually, utilizing DHEA inside of the body, guys, guess what? You will age quicker, right? So in this realm of our society where anti-aging is the big topic in health, one of the quickest ways to age the body is actually to not have adequate testosterone levels. Now, what everybody is doing, unfortunately, even in the alternative health, world, is just saying, oh, here's some bioidentical hormones of testosterone. Here's some pellets that you can put in. And it blows my mind because even functional doctors are doing this nowadays. Rather than saying, hey, what can we do to optimize what you have? What can we do to improve what you've got going on? To me, that's just a sign of they don't want to dig deeper, right, in order to actually get the problem, corrected or fixed. Now, some people will say, well, testosterone is going to reduce with age. Yeah, it will reduce with age according to at least the research and the literature. But what I believe is that, again, it's not by, some detriment or accident that happens. What we know is that's just a normal way of life. So if we are actually saying, how can we optimize you at whatever age you're at, I believe you can get all the testosterone that you need. You can feel great, you can look great, and again, you can age appropriately. And there's also some great compounds out there that are actually quote unquote anti-aging, or more importantly, they actually help to heal mitochondria, really work on the energy that's coming out, the ATP that's coming out of the mitochondria, and really work on preventing the aging process from continuing too fast. And that all affects your testosterone, right? And there's things that you guys have heard of before that are out there, like, for example, things like, resveratrol, things like CoQ10, things like PQQ, berberine. These are all, some great quote-unquote anti-aging compounds that you can use in supplementation. But bottom line is they affect the mitochondria, which in turn, the healthier the mitochondria is, the more energy production that you're going to get. And again, all of that plays a role in how healthy your hormones are too. If you don't have healthy cells, healthy mitochondria, it's going to affect everything else inside of the body. So that being said, just because your doctor tells you that testosterone gets lower as you age does not mean that you still can't optimize your hormones at whatever age that you're at. Again, I refuse to believe. Here's the thing. My foundation of what I look at when I'm looking at somebody's health, what I'm looking at when I look at my health, my foundation sits and rests in this. That my body is fearfully and wonderfully made. That it is created, right, to heal and function optimally. What I do not believe, right, which is what our medical system tells you, is that you are born a broken down machine. That immediately from birth, you need help from every single man that's out there. We have to put chemicals inside of our body just to survive disease. We have to put chemicals inside of our body just to try to get it back, to function normally. But basically, you are born less than. I don't believe that at all. I actually believe that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that our bodies are created to heal and function. And that's our foundation. And because that's our foundation, that is why we're able to see so many people get well. Because again, regardless of whether you call yourself a functional medical doctor or not, it's not your foundation. Your foundation is treating symptoms. That's not ours.
Welcome back. This is the Wellness Radio, guys. We're here, Dr. Nathan, Dr. Rebecca Warren. We've been talking about the ultimate guide to men's health. Right before the break, I'm just going to touch on that again. One thing that you wanted to make sure that we included when we were making the copy for this event is talking about sex drive, because that's a really big deal. This connection with your partner and feeling like you can enjoy this and have it. And I thought that was so huge that you wanted to make sure that was included, because your ability to perform, your ability to have that sex drive, it's for a lot of men, statistically, it's a big red flag that there's an underlying heart issue, that the heart isn't well, or that the heart is working overtime.
I mean, do you know how many marriages have probably fallen apart just because of that?
Yeah,
right? Because
just
of
like at the
issues?
foundation. Yeah, the health issues and the strain, and that's really, really hard. And so, again, our purpose when we do these events, when we get on the radio show, when we help people in our office, is to help people achieve the life that they were created to live.
Yep.
And sitting around with a ticking time bomb within your heart because, your doctor says all you need is Viagra is scary and it's dangerous. And we want to make sure that each and every person that comes to this event knows, or at least right now, listen, if that's you, know there's a problem that you have to address, and don't just wait for it to get worse.
Please don't. Yeah, please don't wait for it to get worse, right? And stop just covering up symptoms. There's a time and a place, for reducing symptoms. Let me give you a perfect example. If I am in a car accident and I'm bleeding out, I don't want to come see you to get me adjusted. I don't want to work on my diet. I don't want to work on, my exercise. I would like to get the drugs I need to save my life. I would like to get the surgery I need to stop the bleeding. But the bleeding is a symptom. What caused it? The car accident, right? And so bottom line is you got to stop covering up symptoms on a regular basis. And yes, you can even cover up symptoms with natural things, right? And so that's why we optimize, people's health, because we dig deep. You've got to dig deep in order to be able to get to the answer. But what's really cool about it is, again, your body is created to heal. And that's exciting, right? That's what we want for everybody. We want everybody to have the opportunity to achieve health the way they deserve.
Absolutely. So guys, the Ultimate Guide to Men's Health event, multiple ways that you can get signed up. 423-362-5360. We've had quite a few people call. Get your tickets. It's at 6:30, about 8:30 p.m. Dr. Nathan will be speaking at the Embassy Suites Monday at 6:30, January 27th. Again, you can register at 423-362-5360 or at doctorswarren.com, DRSWARREN.com, or go to Facebook at Doctors Warren. This is the Wellness Radio. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Wellness Radio is presented for informational purposes.
All right, guys. So, again, as we actually went through a lot of information today. It was kind of fun just to talk. I had a couple rants and raves and things like that. But, bottom line, kind of to sum up this, you can see our kids in the background there, just going crazy, probably driving her wild. But anyway, so to sum up what we talked about today, right, is number one, it's recognizing, because I talked about this in the first segment, your body is created to heal. Wherever you're at, there's hope for healing. There's no doubt about it, all right? The second thing that I think is the biggest takeaway is that sometimes you have to dive deep. There's issues that are underlying that can create a lot of problems, whether it's toxicity, the food that we eat, the air that we breathe, how to optimize our environment, external and internal. The third thing is realizing that to get your hormones to work for you, again, is the ultimate goal when it comes to building muscle and burning fat. It's not just about eating less, and it's not just about working out more. It's about getting your hormones to work for you. And then the fourth point that we made throughout this process is that if you have an issue like a thyroid problem, or you have an issue like anxiety or depression, or you have an issue like, neck pain, back pain, whatever your health issue is that you have to get down to the root cause. Sometimes you got to go upstream and you got to say, what is breaking down above this, around this, that is creating this problem, and start addressing that root cause. And specifically, we talked about the thyroid and how you can have issues with the hypothalamus or the pituitary, or you could have issues with the gut that's creating a conversion issue. There's all these different areas that we got to look at. And again, that's what we specialize in. That's what we dive into, so that we can make it as easy as possible for you guys to make those changes. All right. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And again, anytime you guys have questions, please leave questions, please leave comments. If there's anything that's worked great for you that you'd love to share with everybody, we love that too. We're a community, so we love to be able to share information. So maybe, comment what is something that really took your thyroid health to the next level, what took your hormones to the next level, what helped you lose weight, what helped you build muscle. We love to hear those things. And as always, if you love our information, please share it. You never know how far reaching that information can be. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a great weekend. See you later.